If you are an overwhelmed creator working on 6 different projects at once, reading 3 different books, taking 2 coaching programs, building 1 funnel, but never actually seeing any results, getting any clients or customers, let's talk about the real reason this happens and how to nip it in the bud. There's something beneath the surface that needs to be fixed first. Otherwise, you can stay in this perpetual cycle forever. In order to illustrate this, I want you to play coach with me, and I'm going to tell you about a hypothetical client of mine named Brad. Brad is currently writing 2 books, building 3 funnels, filming his online course, revamping his website, taking 2 coaching programs, rebuilding his offer, trying to figure out his niche, and reading all of Russell Brunson's books at once. Brad is not making any money yet. In fact, he's brand spanking new. He has never had a client. He's also not creating content anywhere. He has no social media audience and no email list. Brad has been working on all these various projects for a year, and he doesn't have anything to show for it. Brad comes to you for help. You are Brad's coach. What would you tell Brad to do? My guess is you would probably say, Brad, you're overthinking this. You're trying to do too much stuff at once. You need to slow down, get your offer out there, see what people think about it, get some feedback. You need to be posting content because you need to build an audience so you have someone to sell your offer to, explaining to him the fundamentals of making this business work. And it's easy for us to look at Brad and tell him what he's doing wrong. But for some reason, when we're the one doing it, we've got the rose-colored glasses. I know this all too well. Literally, when I talk about Brad, I'm talking about me for the first probably 3 or 4 years of my coaching business. I eventually figured out how to get clients, but I never broke out of this state where I was just overwhelmed, confused, and trying to do 8 different things at once. There have been times where I've locked myself in my office for months at a time, and I'm working on this big project or this course, and I'm just like, this is going to be the one thing that explodes my business. It turns out when I get done with those, not much changes. That wasn't actually what I needed. And now I can look back at that past version of me and say, you were just procrastinating, dude. But procrastination is a surface level symptom. What I was really doing was hiding. What I really was scared. I was worried that people would judge me, or they wouldn't think I was good enough, or they would wonder why I thought I was special because I was posting videos on the internet, wonder what my family and my friends would think about me. And so I would hide from doing all the things that it's obvious that you've got to do to succeed in this business. And I would just lock myself in a room and work on these projects. And I would overwhelm myself to distract myself from the real problem. I felt unqualified and inferior. And another thing is that I would become a perfectionist, which perfectionism is often another surface level symptom of fear. It's like, I don't want to be judged. And so if I make this product perfect, then everybody will love me and I will be worthy. The funny thing is you actually can't make a product perfect without getting it out there, getting feedback, and then making it better. That's how software improves. They do version 1.0, 1.1, and so on. There is an iterative process between creator and consumer that must be in place in order to create a perfect product over months and months or even years. Let's drop this idea of locking yourself in a cabin in the woods because you want to make your course perfect. That is a bad plan. It's impossible to do anyways. Underlying these coaches, creators, people who are overwhelmed, these newbies that are doing all this stuff, is fear. I hope you're okay with us calling a spade because we cannot move forward unless we can see what the root cause of all this is. And you cannot stay in a place of overwhelm while making 0 money for that long. And this is why most people eventually quit. All right, so now that we've called out the root cause of what's really going on, let's talk about what to do to fix it. And in order to illustrate this, I'm going to describe another hypothetical client of mine. We will call her Katie. Katie decided that she wanted to help moms rediscover their passion after motherhood. She didn't start writing a book. She didn't create a course. She didn't build a website. She started posting tips for moms on Instagram, and she reached out to all of the moms that she currently knew, interviewed them about what their biggest struggles around this were. Then she created a beta program, which was 4 weeks long, to help moms rediscover their passion after motherhood. She invited all the moms that she knew to take this program for free. She delivered it on 4 Zoom calls over 4 weeks. And at the end, she asked all the moms how it went. Some of the moms were willing to create video testimonials for her. So now she had some evidence that what she did worked. She also took the feedback from that program and made a better version of her product. Then all she did was continue to post content and work with clients. She gradually started charging money. She made $500 in the next month by charging $250 and got 2 clients. Then she raised her price to $500 the next month, got 2 more clients, and made $1,000. And at the end of her first year, over gradually doing this and making her program better and growing her audience, she had made a respectable $40,000. Only at this point did she start to outline the content and put it in a course so her future clients could consume it easier. And next year, she plans to start writing her book now that she has some proof after taking a bunch of moms through her process. All right, can you spot the difference between Brad and Katie? Katie jumped in and got her hands dirty. She started with minimal resources. She went straight to the person that she wanted to help. She made herself vulnerable. She said, here's what I think would help you. And then she tried it on him and said, hey, did that help? And then she took feedback and adjusted and continued to move forward. Brad is still busy trying to build the Eiffel Tower, but it's in the middle of the desert. Nobody knows he's building it, and he's never going to finish anyways. Okay, so you've seen an example of what does not work and what does. But we've not talked about how to get over imposter syndrome, this fear of not being good enough. I know a lot of people who will not post content because they are too worried about what their friends and family will think of them, and they cannot get over that initial hump, and they stay in the same place forever. I too felt that way when I started this business. When I recorded my first podcast, I required that the house be empty. I made my wife leave, and still I sat there at the table and I was like, this is Brian Elwood, and welcome to the Real Estate Investing Podcast. And I was like taking these really awkward, unnatural breaths. It was so weird, but I wanted it bad enough that I pushed through that initial discomfort, and now it's not a big deal for me to sit here and record a video. However, next to becoming a dad, nothing has pushed me more than getting into this industry, planting my flag and saying, I have something worth sharing and I'm going to share it. And I'm going to ask people to pay me money just like everything else. This is a personal growth journey. You want to think that you're missing a funnel or a website or a better offer or a bigger audience. And while all those things help, at the end of the day, most of the time when somebody's not taking action, if you stripped away everything, you would see that they are scared. That does not mean that there's anything wrong with them. When my daughter gets scared, I don't tell her, don't be scared. What's wrong with you? Be brave. That's outdated parenting strategy. It applies to adults as well. There's nothing wrong with being scared. Resisting the fact that you're scared only compounds the fear, but you have to find a way to move forward despite that if you want to gain some traction. One of the exercises I take my clients through that helps them gently ease into this coaching and creator space, we score all the different things they could do for somebody, and then we rank them in terms of how confident and excited they are to deliver those outcomes. This helps my clients to just feel like, okay, I'm talking about something I know for sure. I can talk about this with certainty. That one tweak of just speaking to what you honestly know can take someone from being terrified to move forward to being willing to put themselves out there. I go over how to figure that out, as well as all the other stuff like who you serve and what you do for them and how you're unique inside of my book, Nail Your Niche. You can grab a copy of that, plus a ton of bonuses at nailyourniche.net. Also, if you're wondering whether choosing a niche is going to pigeonhole you into doing one thing forever, check this video out to see where your niche actually lives inside of your business. Thank you guys so much for being here. Subscribe if you found this valuable, and I will see you next time.